Okay, so I drew an outline of this ribbon tree. It's kind of confusing to look at. It'll be easier to understand what I'm doing when you see the thing finished, if it turns out the way I think it's going to. So I've got a very watery mix of phthalo blue. It's very, very light. In fact, I think I'll add more water to it. I want it pretty light. That is pretty light there. Yeah, very light. Well, I've already kind of messed up here. Well, there goes my idea. That's okay. I'm going to see what I can make out of it. Okay, this is a quick tutorial, and this was really pretty simple. I just did an outline of a ribbon tree, and the lines here, I'll show you. The red lines are the shadow. I made them red so they'd be easier for you to determine what is the shadow and what is the ribbon. So I'm just going to paint the entire background except for the star on top of the tree with this very watered down phthalo blue. You could put tape around the edges here to have a clean line, but I am just going to let it look kind of rough. Now I'm going to splash some clean water on it, and it'll give it a really cool texture. Kind of looks like snow. I go kind of overboard with that because I just like it. Okay, you let that dry. Okay, this is dry. So now I'm going to use this same mix of this watery blue, and I'm going to paint everywhere except where these ribbon pieces are. I'm going to do the shadow underneath, and everywhere else, just not where the ribbon is. I'm going in a little bit on where the ribbon is kind of flat. It goes up on that side, up on that side. So it's hard to describe what I'm doing. It's just easier to show you. That was my cat jumping down. She was sitting in my chair behind me. On each alternating side, I'm just going in and pulling a little bit of that paint in with a damp brush. And then I'm going to smooth that edge. That looks pretty cool already. Okay, we're going to let that dry. Okay, this is dry. Now I'm going to use a little more concentrated paint and do the shadow underneath each of these ribbon pieces, and see how that goes. And now I'm going to work on the star. I'm going to use some Quin Gold. No, I think I'm going to use some of this sparkly paint I have. Yeah, that will look really pretty. I love the bling. Okay, so let this dry. Okay, this is dry now, and I'm going to add some Quin Gold on a couple of these little areas in the star to give it some dimension, to make it look like it's a little star. Don't know if that's going to work or not. Probably needed a smaller brush, but that's okay. I'm going to dab some of it up. It'll be fine. Okay, let's let that dry. Okay, I've got some white gouache here, and what I'm going to do is each end of the ribbon that is kind of lifted up, or it kind of looks like it's lifted up, I'm going to add some white and then damp brush to kind of smooth it out. So I want it brighter white on the edges of the ribbons. Okay, this is one. Just put it on the edge, and then I'm going to take a damp brush, a separate brush, because I don't want to clean out all my gouache that's in this brush, and just smooth it out. Same here. I always keep a little bowl with a lid with some white gouache in it to keep it handy, and the lid will keep it from drying out. Okay, my damp brush, smooth this out. Too much water, then just dab some of it up. That needs to be smoothed out a little bit better than I did. That's better. Just kind of play with it until it looks right. That should be my motto, because that's how I handle every painting. I just kind of keep messing with it until I think it looks okay. See, having those white on the tips there makes it look like it's lifted up from the paper. And then having that darker right underneath makes it look like it's lifted up. That helps to make it look like it's lifted up. I can't speak. Okay, let me look at this and see if I need to add anything. I think it needed to be a little bit brighter over here. You can still see my pencil lines, but I don't care. It just doesn't matter. Okay, I think I'm going to let that dry and then take a look at it when it's dry and see if it's good enough. Okay, I'm going to use this Jelly Roll pen to add some highlights to the little star. Just kind of tracing those lines. It kind of shows up. It kind of does. So if you want it to really look like the paper, the ribbon is sticking up from the paper, you could go and add some more white. And I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to add a little bit more white. Turn on the light here. Got my trusty little gouache bowl. I just want it to be a little more contrast here. And I'll take this damp brush, kind of smooth it out. I just wanted it to be more noticeable, and I think this is doing it. Oops. Went off the ribbon. That's what I get for trying to hold two brushes. That's okay. Oh, that looks pretty. I like that. Okay, I'm gonna let it dry and see if there's something else I want to do to it. I may want to splash some gold paint here and there. I don't know. Now I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow. You've got, this is lifted up, so it's going to be over this little section here. So I'm just adding a little bit of the phthalo blue just right along where it's overlapped, and then taking a damp brush and kind of smoothing it out. That'll make this even stick up even more. Over here. Got a little wild there. These little touches make all the difference. I should use a little tinier brush up here, but I'm lazy and I always try to make one or two brushes do all the work. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. Okay, let's let that dry. Okay, I'm calling this done. I'm not going to do any splatters on it. With a little black mat, that looks really pretty. You could do this any color. You could do green, gold, red, purple, whatever. It would be really pretty. Just remember to make sure that the ends of each ribbon that looks like it's cut, to make it look like it's lifting up, it's got to have a dark shadow and it has to have white on the very ends, a lighter color on each end. Not necessarily white, but it needs to be lighter so that it does look like it's lifted up off the paper. This would be pretty in purple. I think I might do the next one in purple. I hope this was helpful and not too confusing. It was a little confusing to me to think about how to do it, but I got through it and I like it, and it looks like a Christmas tree ribbon. Okay, I didn't think the background was dark enough. I really wanted the ribbon to really pop. So I did another layer of the background, splattered it with clean water. When it was dry, I came and did another layer of the shadow, all in phthalo blue. That's all I did. And I'm sorry I wasn't on the recording. I thought I was recording. But that's all I did, is another background, splattered clean water, and then another layer of the shadow.